Hi everyone, it's Lesley Oman here and I am so excited to be sharing this fun news with you guys. That's right, Heffy Doodle is part of STAMPtember. Can you even believe it? I'm so excited. So this stamp set is available over at Simon Says Stamp. It's the only place you can get it and it is an exclusive stamp set. So you're going to want to pop over there and check it out. I'm making a card today using some of the little images in this stamp set, like the takeaway coffee cup and the two different leaf images and the heart as well. I'm using these 4 images to create a patterned background on some watercolor cardstock, and I'm stamping that with some Versamark ink and embossing it in white. So now when I have that all embossed, I'm going to spritz some plain clean water all over my project on the back of my card and on the front. If you actually put water on both sides, it will prevent your project from warping a lot. It'll help it. I'm going to be using some color bursts today. This is like a pigment powder. And because my work surface or my cardstock here is wet, I can sprinkle some of that powder on there and you can see how the pigment spreads out as it travels along the water. I can use my brush to pick up any little clumps of powder that's lying on my project, and also use my sprayer to spray some more water, which will help push the water puddles with the pigment in it. It'll help push it around. You get this gorgeous organic feel to your project, and you can build up the color as much as you like. So I'm adding some more of this orange and adding lots of water, picking up my project and moving it around. And as I do that, you can really see those embossed images in the background pop out. I think it looks so fun. So I really like this heart in the middle, which has a lot of the red tones. So I decided to replicate that by spritzing a little bit of water onto my craft mat and tapping some of that red pigment powder into it and using that then as a paint. I thought it'd be fun to add some of this purple tones. Now when I actually spritzed it on, you can see that even though it is mostly purple, there are some other tones in there. There's some bluey greeny tones. And as I was blowing onto my project, you can see how it has made those little lines. I liked it. I liked having different tones in there. But I actually really wanted to bring back the orange colors. So I used a piece of kitchen roll, a paper towel, to pick up any of those puddles, and then I'm going to come in again with some more of that orange and really move the orange colors around so that most of my colors are orange. This is one of those projects that you just have to wing it. You just have to go with the flow, and because it is such an organic movement, then every card is going to be completely different, but that's what's so fun about it, I think. I thought it would be fun to add some pearlescent sheen. So I have these watercolor paints. They're called Stargazers. They have this pearlescent pigment in the actual watercolor. So I spritzed it with some of the copper tones, and then I thought I would add some more white splatters, but instead of using the white paint, I'm using some Copic opaque white ink to give some white splatters. I just think it looks so magical. You can't even see properly how much that shines in the sunlight. It's gorgeous. Now I'm going to be making a shaker card with this panel now that it's all nice and dry. So this is the Clover Frames set from Heffy Doodle, and I'll use my Heffy memo tape to stick that down and run it through my die cutting machine. And I've also used the stitched rectangle, the A2 stitched rectangle size from the Heffy Doodle Clover Frames to cut out a piece of acetate, and then I can assemble this together with my inlaid piece on my card front and the frame stuck to that A2 size piece of acetate. So this is going to go on the front here, but of course we will need to add some foam tape. My roll of foam tape has ran off. I don't know where it is. So I had to do it old school and cut down little strips but it works absolutely fine. Now onto the stamp set. These little guys are so cute. I hope you guys are gonna love them. I thought that I would stamp the deer in the middle and then use a masking technique to stamp the other two friends behind him, but kind of overlapping. And this is another great way to use the Heffy memo tape. Because it is low tack, it's a bit like a post-it tape. You can pop it right over the top of your stamped image and use it as a masking paper. So let's stick that down and then quickly stamp these other two cuties on either side and then color them in. I'm just going to whiz through some of my coloring. I used some Copic colors. I've also got some Nouveau alcohol pens here as well. And I have a selection in my stash. I just use whatever comes to hand, really. I'm doing some flat colors for this card today. I'm not really doing any shading because there's a lot going on in my background. And I use my scan and cut to cut this out. There will be dies available, but when they're nested together like this, the scan and cut's really useful. And I'm going to add a sentiment to the top of my card. This is the Heffy Cuts Thanks die. These dies, these Heffy Cut dies, have been hand lettered by myself using ink and a paintbrush, and then I've converted them into a die cut so that you can get that authentic hand lettered effect using those Heffy Cut dies. I've cut that out 4 times with some brown cardstock and using my glue pen, stick them together so I have almost like a cardboard or a chipboard things. I really like creating layered sentiments like this. Now to stick everything together, I'm using my Misty with the foam insert removed and sprinkling in lots of sequins and sticking my card base right on top like this. So I have a wonderful shaker element already done. Let's stick this little team on the front here and I'll add my sentiment up top. Because I'm sticking it onto some acetate, I'm using Ranger Multi Matte Medium. It sticks really well to the acetate, I find. So let's stick this down here and my card is done. Fun shaker card with lots of sequins and seed beads and this really interesting background made using the Ken Oliver color bursts. And of course the stamp set from Heffy Doodle and Simon Says Stamp, which is called More Than S'mores. Head on over to Simon Says Stamp to check out this stamp set before it all sells out. Bye!